Let's talk about his tax returns, because Trump refuses to release his tax returns.
Yeah, that's an incredible thing, really. I mean, we don't really know how much he's paid, but the implication is he's paid very little, if anything.
Indeed. Let's watch this little clip here from Elizabeth Warren. She's just made an absolutely brilliant film about Donald Trump.
I have to be honest. It is hard to talk about Donald Trump. Between his ignorance, his racism, his sexism, his lies, it is actually hard to know where to start. But we got to start somewhere. And today I want to focus on one lie that helps sum up what Donald Trump is all about: his taxes. You know, we don't actually know what Donald Trump pays in taxes because he is the first presidential nominee in 40 years to refuse to disclose his tax return.
I believe there's a bombshell in his taxes.
There's a bombshell there.
Look, maybe he's just a lousy businessman who doesn't want you to find out that he's worth a whole lot less money than he claims. We just really can't know for sure. Here's what we do know. The last time Donald Trump's taxes were made public, it turned out that Donald Trump paid nothing in federal taxes. Zero taxes before. And for all we know, he's paying zero taxes today. And he's proud of it. A few weeks ago, he said that he's more than happy to dodge taxes because he doesn't want to throw his money down the drain. Yeah, Trump likes being a billionaire. And he doesn't think that the rules that apply to everyone else should apply to him. But let's be clear. Donald Trump didn't get rich on his own. His businesses rely on roads and bridges that the rest of us paid for. His businesses rely on workers the rest of us paid to educate, and on the great police force and brave firefighters the rest of us paid to support. Donald Trump and his businesses are protected by a world-class military that defends us abroad, keeps us safe at home, and the rest of us pay to support. When anyone builds something terrific, they should get to keep a big hunk of it, but they should also pay a fair share forward, so the next kid and the next kid and the next kid who come along will get their chance to build something too. That's how we build a future that works for everyone. And that goes double for Donald Trump, because we know how he got rich. He inherited a fortune from his father and kept it going by scamming people, declaring bankruptcy, and skipping out on what he owed.
It's just astonishing. Most people seem to think that he's hiding something, and I can't necessarily say I disagree with that. But the Russian business ties, you know, he claims to have made all these charitable donations, and it looks as though he probably hasn't made any. I mean, it took them how many months to get the veterans $5 or $6 million that he said was raised actually contributed. He stiffs all of his contractors. He's got, you know, legal fees in there. I mean,
why isn't the media jumping on this then? There, I mean, I would be. Christ, you know, I mean, has he paid any tax? We don't know. So why isn't the media all over this in America?
It's a horse. They need a horse race. Without a horse race, they can't sell advertising revenues. If people already think it's a foregone conclusion that Hillary's going to win, they're going to tune out. And if they tune out, you know, they could already have a number of Republicans who are very staunch voters who are saying they're not going to vote.
That's awful, isn't it? That's awful.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that there is definitely. I mean, there's the thing about him not earning as much money as he says he earns. I mean, he inherited quite a lot of money, didn't he, from his father to start his businesses, and then he got the rest. And I always remember that line that if he'd put all of his money in T-bills and spent his entire life finger painting, he'd be richer than he is now. I mean, it's just he is a terrible businessman. And as I said last week, I actually think he's not a great media manipulator as everybody says. He just says outrageous things and gets coverage. It's not that difficult.
About him. We're all talking about him, Dario, and that's the problem. I mean, is that the media, it's like catnip. They can't avoid it. You know, they just are there.